verse, verse 21 in chapter 14, Arjuna asks Krishna, okay, you told me about how a sattvic person or a person who is exhibiting rajas or tamas look like and what the ramifications are. But you haven't given me any examples of how someone who has transcended these gunas look like. How do they behave? How do they get there? It's a tough question. It's not easy to give examples of abstract concepts. It happens in mathematics. Having taught math, quite our theoretical statistics for many years, I know it is not easy when students ask, can you give us some examples in situations where the concept that is being taught is very abstract. Here, Arjuna is asking Krishna to tell him how a person who has transcended gunas look like. And while I was thinking about it, I also thought through the usual analogy most of us in India use when it comes to life, the game of cricket. It's an exaggerated method of trying to understand life through cricket. Nevertheless, it sometimes works. I'm not going to go through that analogy, but I thought that having thought through it, it would be a good exercise for anybody who is interested in thinking from the point of view of a batter and from the point of view of a bowler who are exhibiting any of these three gunas. So when does a batter exhibit sattvic guna? For example, maybe when he nicks and the wicketkeeper catches the ball, he just walks. He knows he did that. Or the player who always plays to the merit of the bowler. That's the sattvic person, maybe. Somebody who scoops or reverse sweeps might be rajas, or a bowler who munkets, maybe exhibiting rajas. But then you can also think about, how can a bowler be sattvic? Because the purpose of his life or his role in the game is to get somebody out or prevent them from scoring runs. So the purpose itself seems a little contrary to sattvic guna. Not so. If we think through it, we can think about who a sattvic bowler is. Right? Who is a tamas batter? I mean, someone who plays 20 overs in a 20-over match and scores 40 runs. Something like that. So we can think through that in that way. But now we have come to a question from Arjuna, where Arjuna wants to know who or how a person who has transcended gunas, remember that is the higher form of evolution, how does that person look like? It's a curiosity. Now, I would like to know what my evolved form will look like, or a evolved human would look like. That may not happen for another 100,000 years, but I would like to know. Here is God right in front of me. Can He tell me? But then Krishna has to tell him with the limitations of that time. So Krishna first gives an answer that is sort of saying the person who is transcended the gunas will look like a person who has transcended gunas. That's not a that's a very unappealing answer. It's not compelling. I cannot really get the hang of it. But that's what he says. He says, a person who does not respond to a clarity of thought, which is a sattvic behavior, or actions based on desire, rajas, or complete ignorance, tamas, or any of those, or even not those. That's the end of that verse, verse 22. So the transcended person, the person who has transcended gunas, looks like that. Someone who does not respond to any of these characteristics, who doesn't react to any of these gunas. When he or she is exhibiting the gunas, they don't react to it. Okay? Says, so this person also sits carefree, and the thought of gunas does not occur to them in their mind at all. That's the person who's transcended gunas. This person treats sorrows and happiness the same, has a good presence of mind, courageous, treats dust, sprigs, gold, precious gems, everything equally the same. Friends and foes are equal for this person. Honor, dishonor, same. Kudos, boos, same. They treat all of these things equally. Above all, this does not have any aspirations. So in cricket, it is perhaps someone who does not react to sledging. They hit 100 and the whole crowd is a roar. This person does not even react. Or he or she gets out for an excellent ball at 0 and the crowd is booing, just walks back with a smile. No aspirations could mean in cricket that this person is not playing for records. That person is there to play this game. And so on and so forth. We can continue with the cricket analogy, but I am still not convinced with the answers given with respect to who is this person. The problem is, if I could imagine my evolved form now, that would be contrary to the process of evolution. I would not have any kind of interest in life because I would rather wait for that evolved form. I like that. That's what I want to be. I don't want to struggle anymore. So it's contrary to the process. And that is perhaps the reason why Krishna is struggling, in my opinion. He could have said, this person will look like me, but then that wouldn't work either, because Krishna is now looking like a human. He had his own flaws, a lot of them. So, in that sense, it's more difficult to explain to somebody who has these limitations of a human what that abstract form would be. But we will continue to hear some of the hints or some indications of what that might be, but not the exact nature of this transcended person. And that is my take on these verses.